You can be in a room full of people, have hundreds of contacts in your phone, and get messages all day long and scroll through them endless faces online and still feel completely alone. And that sounds like a contradiction, but it's only becoming one of the defining emotional problems of modern life. Loneliness is not simply the absence of people, it's the absence of meaningful connections. The feeling that nobody truly sees you, understands you, and knows what is happening beneath the surface. You can have coworkers, family members, followers, group chats, neighbors, and friends and still feel isolated because connection is not measured by how many people are around you. It's measured by how emotionally safe, understood, and valued and connected you feel with them. And that distinction matters more because modern life has become extremely good at giving us contact without necessarily giving us closeness. We are constantly connected, but many of those connections are shallow, rushed, distracted, or transactional. And you can exchange memes with someone every day and still never tell them what you are struggling with. You can work beside somebody for years, know nothing about their fears, hopes, or problems. And you can sit at a dinner with family while everyone is staring at a different screen. That physical proximity does not automatically create emotional intimacy. In fact, being surrounded by people while feeling unseen can sometimes make loneliness feel even worse because it creates the question: if I have all these people around me, why do I still feel this way? And one reason is that our relationships have become increasingly fragmented. Real connection takes time, repetition, attention, trust, and vulnerability. And those things are difficult to build when everyone is busy. And overstimulated, stressed, distracted, and moving from one obligation to another. And many conversations happen in short bursts. We check in quickly, we react to posts, we send short messages and move on. And that can maintain contact, but it does not always deepen a relationship. And deep relationships usually require moments where people slow down long enough to talk about things that actually matter. They require listening without immediately checking a phone, fixing the problem, changing the subject, or waiting for your turn to speak. Another reason why loneliness can grow even when we are socially active is that many people feel pressure to perform a version of themselves. At work, you may need to seem competent. Online, you may want to look successful, funny, attractive, productive, or unbothered. And around family, you may play the role of the dependable one. And around friends, you may be the person who keeps everyone laughing. And the more roles you perform, the easier it becomes to spend time with people without even ever feeling fully known. And if everyone only sees the version of you that is polished, useful, or entertaining, you may start wondering whether they would still accept the parts of you that are anxious, exhausted, confused, and insecure, or struggling. And that gap between the person people see and the person you can privately feel like can create a powerful form of loneliness. Social media can intensify this because it gives us an enormous amount of social information without guaranteeing real social support. You can know where someone went on vacation, what they ate, what they bought, and what their children are doing without having a meaningful conversation with them in years. And that creates a strange illusion of closeness. We know more details about more people than previous generations ever could, yet knowing information about someone is not the same as sharing life with them. And the passive exposure can even make connections feel worse when we constantly see groups or of friends, couples, parties, celebrations, and highlight reels. And your brain may compare those visible moments to your private experiences and conclude that everyone else belongs somewhere while you are somewhere, somehow on the outside. And what you're seeing is often a collection of selected moments, not a complete picture of another person's emotional life. Loneliness is also influenced by the quality of your environment. Some communities, they make natural interactions easy. People walk outside, talk to neighbors, join clubs, attend events, or regularly see the same people. Other environments can make isolation almost effortless. You can order food without speaking into anyone, work remotely, stream entertainment alone, shop online, exercise at home, and communicate almost entirely through screens. Convenience is useful, but when every small interaction disappears, so do many opportunities for connection. And those tiny conversations with coworkers, store employees, neighbors, classmates, or familiar strangers may seem unimportant, but they also help create a sense that you exist inside a community rather than outside of one. Loneliness can also become self reinforcing. When people feel lonely, they may become more sensitive to rejection or assume others are uninterested. They might stop reaching out because they do not want to feel needy, awkward, or disappointed. And then the fewer interactions happen, which creates even more loneliness. The solution is not simply to force yourself into crowded spaces. The goal is to increase the quality of your connection. That might mean calling one person instead of scrolling through 50 updates. It might mean asking a better question than how are you and actually staying long enough to hear the answer. It might mean telling someone that is really going on instead of automatically saying everything is fine. It might mean joining a group based on something you genuinely care about, where repeated interaction gives relationships time to grow naturally. It can also mean becoming more intentional about being present. Put the phone away during conversations. Remember details people tell you and follow up later. Invite someone to do something specific instead of vaguely saying, we should hang out sometime. Real relationships are often built through small repeated actions or attention. It's also important to understand that loneliness does not mean you have failed socially. It is important. It is your mind signaling that the type of depth of connection you need is not being met. And the answer may not be more people. You might already have plenty of people. What you may need is more honesty, more consistency, more shared experiences, more face to face time, or relationships where you do not feel like you have to perform. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop trying to look connected and start trying to actually connect, because the opposite of loneliness is not popularity, it's belonging. It's knowing that there are people you can call when life gets messy, people who know the real version of you, and the people around whom silence does not feel uncomfortable. You can be surrounded by 1,000 people and still feel alone. But one genuine connection can change the emotional temperature of your entire life. So if you have been wondering why loneliness keeps showing up, even though you are rarely physically alone, stop counting how many people are around you and start paying attention to how many people you can truly be yourself around. That is usually where the answer begins. Thanks for watching today. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. I don't know if you've learned much about the YouTube partnership program, but that was our goal here at this channel, to reach that goal. And without you, we can't do that. We need 1,000 subscribers desperately before February. I'm wanting this channel to go on for years to come, and YouTube stacked everything against us. So if you would, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.